Even though Djay Pro for the iPad may have a smaller screen than the laptop, there still is an amazing 4-deck mode, and even if you don't plan on playing 4 decks at the exact same time, there are still some great things you could do with the extra real estate. So in this video, I'm going to show you everything you need to know about Djay Pro's amazing 4-deck mode. So to get to 4-deck mode, what we're going to do is we're going to press the middle button up here. This is how we change our view modes. So you may be in settings, so it may look like this, but if you're in settings, then go to the bottom left and press modes. And then here we're going to go down to 4 decks. So now you're going to see that I had in pro mode or classic mode. These are the 2 decks that I had loaded up, 2 of the same song, but now I go into 4-deck mode. So now this is going to be deck 1 and then deck 2. And then here we have deck 3 and deck 4. So this is what it's going to look like. And you do get a pretty big view of our waveforms if you're in vertical waveforms. But if you like horizontal waveforms, you could press one of these 1s or 2s, go down, and you could get horizontal waveforms. But I would recommend doing the vertical. It's a little bit easier to keep track on because you could see everything for each deck. You may be thinking it's a really limited amount of features that we could use because right now we have our crossfader. So to the left is going to be deck 1 and 3. To the right is going to be deck 2 and 4. You could actually change this by pressing down here. You could either do through left or right, but I would leave it the way it is. And now to get more features, what you're going to do is press this button up here. That's right past the middle button. And then now this gives you the feature list, pretty much the same thing that you get in pro mode down here with this feature list with all these features. It's just a lot smaller. So you could do Nero Mix, you could do loops, all the features available in the software you could do for each of these decks, which is really cool. And you still get a view of the waveforms. It is a pretty small view of the waveforms, but they are there and you can still see what's going on. And then if we press this button over here to the right, that's going to open up our mixer sections for all of these 4 decks. So now we have lows, mids, highs filter, pretty much the same thing that we get in pro mode in the middle here if you open this EQ section. So we're really not losing any features and we're gaining 2 extra decks. So lows, mids, and highs, filter, volume, and then you could obviously change this to Nero Mix if you like to mix with that type of mixer. So now what would you use 4 decks for? Obviously, you could play 4 songs at the same time, but if you don't plan on doing that you could use the extra decks for a couple of things. Number 1 is you could keep a scratch sample there, so you could have deck 4 be for scratching. So you could have 2 decks mixed together playing at the same time, for example. Let's say those 2 decks were playing, and then you could scratch on your right deck with it. Also, you could use one of the decks for sound effects. So in my collections, I made a sound effect track. So here we have a large crowd clapping. Maybe someone does a cool dance move or someone's really taking control of the party. Or if it's like a surprise party and the guest of honor is walking out, we have our surprise there. So you could use sound effects or you could use scratch samples. If you're using Tidal streaming service, there are all of these tracks that aren't songs but sound effects and different things that you could load up. And if you want to see my full tutorial on how to get the most out of Tidal streaming service for this software, check out this video over here.